recording now.
Good. I will go ahead and do the roll call again if everybody is okay with that. Yeah, to have it on record. So Carolyn Kidd, Chair, here. Vice Chair Jarvis.
Here.
Commissioner Gebler.
Here.
Commissioner Jane.
Here.
Commissioner Pino.
Here.
Commissioner Sanchez.
Here.
Commissioner Tona.
Here.
All right. So our mission statement here at CODA is a commission to foster support, respect, awareness, and appreciation of diversity among all citizens of Flagstaff. And who would like to volunteer to read our land acknowledgement? Anyone?
Commissioner Pino, I can do it.
Go ahead.
Okay, the Commission on Diversity Awareness humbly acknowledges the ancestral homelands of this area's Indigenous nations and original stewards. These lands, still inhabited by Native descendants, border mountains sacred to Indigenous peoples. We honor them, their legacies, their traditions, and their continued contributions. We celebrate their past, present, and future generations who will forever know this place as home.
Thank you. And I just shared my screen to share the agenda for the persons who are joining us who may not have the agenda. I just wanted to make sure everybody is inclusive of it. Yes? All right. So number 4, upcoming opportunities and announcements. With no announcements, go ahead.
I may have one. And I'll note that, well, I'm the new staff liaison of this commission. I also serve on the Southside Community Associations Board. And at the end of this month, on the 28th, we have the annual Miss Cleo's Tea Party. If anyone's interested in attending that, Chairwoman Harris or Councilman Harris would be the person to reach out to, and it's also available online to purchase tickets for the fundraiser. Again, that'll be, I believe, the 28th, which is, or the 26th, rather, the Friday the 26th, and that will be in the evening at Little America.
All right, thank you. And you said it's at Little Miss Cleo's Party?
The Little Miss Cleo's Tea Party. It's the annual fundraiser for the Southside Community Association.
Oh, so it's at Little America. It's not at the Murdoch Center?
I believe it's a Little America. Let me. I can check real quick though.
Oh, okay. Because I have a flyer and it says Murdoch Center, unless
Does it say that now?
Unless they change it, because I know they were doing some repairs at the Murdoch Center as of
they
last
were.
week.
Let me check here. No, I'm seeing Murdoch Center as well. I think that we discussed that actually at the meeting last month. Maybe it wasn't actually changed.
Okay, good. Right, because I want to go to the right place for this.
that may have been an idea that did not come to fruition. So I was going off memory there. So my apologies.
That's all right. Good. All right. Any more announcements? Okay, so let's move to public comment. So the commission cannot act upon items presented during the public participation portion of this agenda. Individual commission members may ask questions of the public, but are prohibited by open meeting law for discussing or considering the item among themselves until the item is officially placed on the agenda. Each public comment or presentation will be limited to 5 minutes. So I'm opening the floor for public comment. Even if you want to introduce yourself being here for the first time, that could be part of it too. And I see Rachel, hand is up.
Hi, everyone. I just wanted to introduce myself. My name is Rachel Simaconda. I am on the Commission for Inclusion and Adaptive Living, and I am here not representing them, but I always like to give a shout out to my differently abled citizens. So Rachel Simaconda, and I look forward to attending your meetings and being a participant in any way that I can. Thanks, Carolyn.
Thank you so much, Rachel. Glad to have you here. I like when other persons come in and try to, actually be a part of what we're doing here at CODA. And please feel free to share our information and the meeting times and stuff and let us know, because, we really want to engage our public, because the more we hear from our public, the more we can address stuff. Okay, I'll shut up now. Anybody else? Is Dr. Mallet here? I don't want to put him on the spot, but it's good to see his face. Is he here? Anybody else who's joining for the first time, they could go ahead and introduce themselves. That would be really great.
Hi, Carolyn. Good afternoon.
Hi.
This is King Gator Callan. I'm the district director for Supervisor Hess in District 3. I'm here as just an individual and not representing. I'm also the secretary on the Southside Community Association with Deb Harris and Chris there. So thank you very much for having me here. This is my first time. I'm excited to learn more about this, and I look forward to the information.
Great. Thank you for being here, Kangeta. All right. Anyone else? Okay, hearing none, let's move on to the approval of minutes. The approval of minutes of February the 17th. I will abstain from this because I was not present. So if everybody read the minutes, and I will await a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second your motion, Commissioner Pino.
Thank you. Motion carried. Action items. A letter of support on behalf of the Commission for the Rainbow Crosswalk. And I think Commissioner Tona, I think you will be taking the lead on this one. Am I correct?
Yes, hi everybody. We had a presentation, as everybody remembers, from Alicia Henry from Northern Arizona Pride Incorporated. They have submitted a request for approval for a rainbow walkway, and it's actually had a couple of different locations, but I think the ended up with LaRue Street, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, it got turned down because of the highway manual of guidances. Anyway, long story short, they're now actually going to be negotiating with the city because Alicia has pulled together lots of information about other cities in Arizona that have found protocols that are appropriate for dealing with those highway restrictions, or there's highway regulations and recommended approval of designs, actually walkway designs. So anyway, this is just a draft proposal. We decided last month that we would send a letter to Pride supporting their efforts with the Civil Engineering Department. And so here it is. This is just for the approval of the commission, or it's a rough draft, any kind of recommendations for change. To whom it may concern, Commission on Diversity Awareness stands with Northern Arizona Pride, Inc. in their effort to secure approval for a rainbow walkway in downtown Flagstaff. We salute the excellent work that Northern Arizona Pride, Inc. has been doing over many years on behalf of the LGBTQ plus community in Flagstaff and to the benefit of Greater Flagstaff. The Commission sees the installation of a rainbow walkway as a continuation of their efforts of outstanding work and as a worthy recognition of LGBTQ plus community in the Greater Flagstaff area. The Commission on Diversity Awareness recognizes the complexity of civil engineering and legal considerations and respects the processes set up to navigate those complexities. We urge the city to join with Northern Arizona Pride, Inc. to review the processes and protocols already adopted by other Arizona cities in resolving regulatory and risk issues presented by rainbow walkways. Solutions to the civil engineering and legal challenges have been successfully implemented in other Arizona cities with no adverse consequences. The commission urges the city to include the efforts to install a rainbow walkway as a vital opportunity to present Flagstaff as a welcoming, inclusive community. A list of relevant websites is attached to this letter of support. Thank you. Commission on Diversity Awareness.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Commissioner Tona. Does anybody want to have some discussions before we put a motion to on the floor to send the letter of support? Anybody has any questions or anybody wants to discuss?
Hi, Commissioner Kidd. This is Kim Robinson.
Hi.
I'm just wondering, how will the Rainbow Crosswalk be funded?
I can't really speak for Pride. I do know that they had an underwriter that was going to actually, I believe, cover the entire cost of the walkway. I can't say that for certain because I'm not a member of the board of Pride, but that's my understanding.
Very good question. Yeah, good
Thank you.
question.
Yeah, excellent question.
Mhm.
I think with that part of the donation or the donation that I think is happening also asked that the Rainbow Walkway be in the crossways, the crosswalk by that business.
And I also understand too, I'm trying to remember when Alicia was here, that's the vice president of Flag Pride. She did speak about they were looking at the maintenance cost too, because I think that was a question from one of the commissioners. There was the cost of maintenance, and she did mention that they were thinking of probably having grants or donations and stuff like that. So getting closer to the time, we'll definitely try to ask the Flag Pride to come and give us an update too. So I want to put a motion on the floor. Well, first of all, do we have any motion? I need a motion to approve this letter of support on behalf of CODA for the Rainbow Crosswalk. So do I have a motion?
This is Commissioner Gabler. I'll motion.
This is Commissioner Sanchez. I'll second.
Wonderful. Thank you. Motion carry. Thank you so much, Commissioner Tona. And once we get this finalized, we'll definitely let Flag Pride know, and we're going to invite them again to give us an update because I'm excited about this. It's going to be the first.
I'm not sure. Did we vote on this? I know we had the motion in the second. Did we vote?
Oh yeah. Sorry.
Okay.
All in favor? Aye.
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 Any against? Any abstain? Motion carry. Thank you so much for reminding me. I'm just getting so excited about this. It's like, let's do this. Thank you.
Thank
you. Yeah. See, it takes a team. All right. So let's go on to the reports and discussion items. Any updates from the council liaison? Do you know if Kara joined us? Commissioner Kara?
I have not seen her come into the meeting yet. I quickly sent her a link to the new meeting, though she I did not see that she accepted it or has joined us. That was just in the last 15 minutes. So I apologize for not sending that to her earlier. I sent you all the new meeting invite and I somehow left her off of it, and I'm sure I will hear about that when I see her shortly.
Yeah.
So my apologies to her on that.
Okay, well, that's okay. So whenever, if anybody sees Councilwoman House joins, we'll just go ahead and give her that time, yes, to speak. All right, so updates from the staff liaison. Chris, do you want me to go ahead and share the screen again with the agenda?
Yes, that'd be great, actually.
Okay, wonderful. All right, and this is for everybody else to see where we are. Okay, any updates from staff liaison?
Yes, I just wanted to say hello. My name is Chris Rohde. To those of you that have not met me yet, we did not meet last month, and I apologize for that. If you did not know, I'm taking over as the staff liaison for this commission, beginning with this meeting. We had some discussions back in February, probably right around the time you had your last meeting, and Lisa and the HR team are just a little bit overwhelmed. They have quite a bit of work to do, and they have some staffing issues. So because I also serve as the city's civil rights liaison in the city manager's office, I volunteered to take over that responsibility to just take a little bit off their plate. So don't worry, Lisa didn't do anything. She's still with the organization and in good standing and everything, but just as an opportunity to give them a little bit of breathing room and to focus on some of their projects, I'm stepping into this role. I think it'll be a good fit. As I said, I've worked on some of these issues over the course of the last several years, and I think that having a closer connection with this commission will hopefully embolden both some of my projects and some of the initiatives of the commission to go forward quite successfully. So looking forward to serving in this role in an official capacity. So look forward to working with y'all. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Chris. Great to have you here. Yes. Do you have any other updates for us?
I don't have any other updates from me personally. I'll say that just I'm sorry that we didn't get last month's done. We talked about this transition, and then I think that the handoff was kind of dropped for the first month. But we're back here now.
Yes, we're back in action. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for serving. Yes. All right. So update on data for the anti-camping ordinance. Do we have anybody to speak to that today?
I can, but Jean, I saw your hand was up. Did you want to comment on the previous item?
Oh, I just wanted to give a hearty welcome to Chris and note for the commission that, you know, Mandy was there also. We were he marched with us in the Pride Parade, the first annual ever Pride Parade, and I'm thrilled to have him on board and look forward to him serving as our liaison. That's all.
Wonderful. Sorry, Commissioner Tona, I didn't see your hand because I'm too
No
busy
worries.
sharing here. So I was like, I am so sorry.
No worries. No worries.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move on to the update for on the data on anti-camping ordinance.
Yes, Ms. Commissioner Pino, we thank you to Jean for working with me on this. Jean drafted a lovely cover letter, which we put in partnership with the white paper that the students compiled in the last few months and sent that out to 2 different recipient groups. The first group was the mayor, the vice mayor, and there was someone else on that, right, Jean?
Yeah, the second one was the Housing Commission.
Yep, and the Housing Commission. So I have no responses yet, but I'm hopeful that at least having received in their inbox will get some attention. And then we can probably follow up with them in a week or so and see if they have any questions or additional comments for how to proceed.
Go ahead, I see Chris' hand is up.
Yes, I just had a question because I was not here for the beginning of this project. I saw the email come through both to council and to the Housing Commission. Has that conclusion, that report, been voted on by this commission yet to be sent out to those groups? I got a response back asking, such as why it didn't come from me. So I'm curious if action's been taken. That's totally fine. I just want to make sure I know where we're at on that.
Yeah, I think it was the February, it might have been the minutes that you had looked at that we had agreed to draft and send it. I don't know that we had determined who it was going to be sent from.
Okay.
Though. So that could have been a
I
gap
can
on
answer that. That was my error, you know, until I'm sorry about that, Chris. That was actually my error. I went ahead and just drafted the letter Marcella approved it, and I just sent it out. And I forgot that I'm not authorized to do that, that I should have sent the entire thing to you and had you forward it to both the city council and the housing commission. Now, I know that the housing commission, it went through the liaison because I didn't have the addresses, but
Yeah.
am I in trouble? I mean, did I
No,
make
no.
things,
I'm
did I mess
so
things
sorry.
up here?
I don't think you did. Excuse me. The staff liaison to the housing, excuse me. The staff liaison to the housing commission just reached back to asked me essentially if those materials had been approved by our commission before they were sent out. And I was unable to tell just off of previous minutes whether the approval was to begin work on the project, to draft the letter, or if the actual finalized project itself had been completed. And if it has, then that's totally fine. She just wasn't sure if she could put it on the agenda until we approved it or not. So I guess that's really where my question lies, is whether the Commission on Diversity Awareness approved beginning this project or approved the report that came out of it in the letter. And if we're unclear and we just want to take a quick vote to approve it, that may be fine as well. I just wanted to make sure. And also my first meeting, so I'm probably being overly cautious with the way I'm trying not to get in trouble.
That's all right, Chris. Yeah, and I think that we approved it in February, but I think we should just do it again to have it on the record with you in your position. And we did not circulate the draft letter for approval. So I don't know if we want to pull up the cover letter as well for approval, but the commission has received the report and approved passing that report on to those commissions. Yeah.
Excellent. Wanted to make sure of that because I was not here for it. So that's all.
Yeah, no, that's fine. So do we want to pull up the cover letter and approve that
Yes.
formally?
I've got it right here for us. I can put
Okay,
it on my
perfect,
screen.
great.
And I'll stop sharing.
Okay. There we go.
Would you like me to read it?
Yes, Commissioner Tuna, go right ahead.
Okay. City Council of Flagstaff, dear Mayor, Vice Mayor, and councilpersons, the Commission on Diversity Awareness has been reviewing the anti-camping ordinance passed in 2005. We collected relevant data and submitted a request for a fair in 2021 in support of a citizen's petition to consider repeal of the ordinance. The fair was not upheld. Subsequently, one commissioner actively engaged with this initiative relocated away from Flagstaff. To not let the work with data collection and analysis go to waste, the commissioner currently working on the initiative engaged with Dr. Megan McDowell of the Department of Criminology and Criminal Justice, Northern Arizona University, to create a graduate student research project to investigate, report on, and draft recommendations related to the anti-camping ordinance, incorporating data collected by CODA. The graduate student team presented their white paper at the December 6, 2023 CODA meeting. We are submitting the students' excellent white paper to City Council to contribute to the city's repository of relevant reports and data on this urgent matter affecting our community. We are aware at the Commission of NAU's receipt of a HUD grant for university nonprofit partnership supporting community engagement program led by principal investigator Dr. Sarah Schulman. We are optimistic that the 3-year study will yield a comprehensive understanding of and recommendations for urban encampments in Arizona. Thank you for your time and attention to the excellent work produced by the NAU graduate students in our NAU criminal justice program. Best regards, the Commission.
Thank you, Commissioner Tuna. Great. So let us go ahead and do I have a motion to send this letter through for the anti-camping ordinance?
So moved.
We have a second?
This
A
is
second.
Commissioner Gamble. I'll second.
Second.
Okay, so all in favor, say aye.
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 Any against? Any abstain? Well, the ayes have it, so the motion carried. And so from here, Chris, are you going to go ahead and send it up the chain?
Yeah, well, it's already been sent, so
Oh, it's
I will
already
just
been
give the,
sent.
I'll just give the thumbs up to it, and
Okay.
the Housing Commission will be able to put that on their agenda. I'll let them know that it was formally approved in our commission and we're all set.
Wonderful. And even if we approve it twice, it's, when it's nice, do it twice. Great. Thank
Certainly.
you. All right. So let's move on to Women Commission Rights group discussion. So I know we were trying to find the original information on the Women Rights Commission. We've heard that there was some approval years ago, like 2 or 3 mayors ago. And I'm not sure where we left off with it, if we were waiting for some more information from our class liaison back, our previous class liaison. Could anybody remind me of where we are with this?
Commissioner Toner was the one who had the information
Okay,
on
great.
the Women's Commission.
Good. Go ahead, Commissioner Tona.
Yeah, I went ahead and I had forwarded to you and to our former liaison, Lisa, all the information, and I think also to Bethany, who is no longer a commissioner here. So what I forwarded was what written documents we had, which was fairly limited. As as our chair said, this really was 3 mayors ago that this was brought to our attention, and the request was from the at-time mayor and vice mayor to consider this commission, the creation of a commission. So anyway, during that time when that mayor and vice mayor were active, we sent forward a recommendation that a women's rights commission would be certainly welcome and necessary, and the city could benefit from it. But nothing came to pass. And so I don't know that there's anybody at the on the city council right now that is actually wanting to go through the process of creating a new commission. So I think that we've kept it on the agenda just in case that comes back. And so that's as much as I know. It was all the way back to Coral Evans and Jamie Whelan, so it was a while ago.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Tona. I remember seeing that and recognizing that, okay, it really was nothing. So if it's anything, we'll have to start it afresh.
That's correct.
Yes, that is what I look at. Now, Chris, you can direct us here. To start a commission, I know definitely it has to go to the council for them to do that. Now, can we as CODA make a recommendation for that? Are we outside of our sphere of influence here?
You are not. If that's the will of the commission, you can make any recommendation to council that you would like on kind of on this topic, and I think this would certainly fall within the purview of the commission. They do not have to take action or take the action that you recommend, but as an advisory commission, that's certainly within the purview of this commission. Although there are other avenues that could be explored besides creating a whole new commission, which would require council action. A subcommittee could be formed, which would be a formal group that holds minutes, has to have public comment, agendas, minutes, all that kind of thing. There can be a working group, which is just an informal collection of a few people from this commission, or you could partner with a different one, like perhaps inclusion and adaptive living. And as long as there's no quorum of either commission on that group, they can meet whenever they would like. There's no need for an agenda or posting or public comments, that kind of thing. And they could report back to the commission on topics. So there's different ways you can go about it. And then but a commission is one of them. So really commission, subcommittee, or a working group are the three options that you can go with. Yeah.
Okay. I want to know if any of the commissioners, if it's something that we want to talk about now, or if we can just have Chris send us those three options, and then we can come back, put it on the agenda again, and come back with our final decision on that, because it is a lot of information there. And I know to have a whole commission, you have to get people on there and quorum and stuff. If it's a work group, I don't want it to disappear because it's very significant, and that's why it came up in so many different meetings. A subcommittee or subcommission, I'm not sure how that works out, and that's something right away I think I would like to explore. So I'm going to throw this out to the group, to the commissioners. What do you want to do? Do you want to talk about it now, or do you want Chris to send us some more information so we can have a more informed decision? Anyone? Comments?
Can we
This
get
is
some
Commissioner
information
Gebler. I
sent
think
to us?
we should definitely explore the options, especially regarding like a women's rights group, especially with everything kind of going on lately. It's really
Right.
important, I feel like, for us to be fully organized and really know what we're doing to come out at this at the most informed way possible.
And as you made that comment, Commissioner Gebler, are you thinking more as a woman rights group, like a commission, a separate commission because of everything that's happening today, or under us as a subcommission or a work group?
I think with Flagstaff, like the type of community we have, I think it might be realistic to look into the forming of a commission of its own. Just so then that way there's the ability for other people to be able to have input, and other women who may have, valid interest or want to be a part of everything to be able to have that opportunity to participate also.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for your input. Anybody else?
This is
Any other?
Commissioner Toner. I think that I would just agree with everything that Mandy just said, and also with TJ's request for more information, and take it up with more information next month.
Wonderful. All right. Well, anybody else want to comment? Because I think we have a little trend going here. Go ahead.
If you're asking more information from me, I can certainly provide that. That's within my job here. But what specifically are you looking for in that information? Are you looking for information on the structure of those different kinds of bodies? Are you looking for information on the history of creating commissions in the city? What specific, I guess, questions do you have that I can try to come back with information for you on?
So the structure, of course, and really good question for the structure. If it's a commission or women's right group, what is the structure and all the protocols and on all the things that goes with it. If it is a subcommission or a subcommittee, I'm not sure if I'm saying it right. If it's a subcommission, what is the structure and what is all the protocols with it? And well, we know about the work groups because we've had work groups before here.
Right.
Yeah. So more on the commission side of it and the subcommission.
Yeah, I see. I do have most information. I know it now. I'm happy to provide that if you think the discussion could go forward now as opposed to coming back next month. If you want to come back next month, I'm happy to do that. But it may be a little more efficient to have a discussion now and then decide on what action we want. And if you want to make a recommendation, we can work on drafting a letter with that recommendation to bring back to the next group, the next meeting. That could be an action item up for an up or down or approval. Would that make more sense? Or would you like me to come back with information for a discussion at a later time?
Let me throw it out for the other commissioners.
Okay.
So do you want Chris to go ahead and brief us on the two different structures, or do you want to bring it back again next next meeting. Commissioners?
I personally would like it if Chris could provide us with that information of structure so we'll know what we're talking about as far as, and then see where we go from there.
Okay, so do you want him to go ahead and continue now and do that, or do you want him to send an email afterwards so we can discuss it in the next meeting? Go ahead, Commissioner Tona.
My thought is if you can just give us a quick overview verbally right now, we still have quite a bit of time left in our meeting time. It would help orient our thinking.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
Thank you. Go ahead, Chris.
I'm happy to do that. I think that's actually a good way to go about it because it's not particularly dense information. So I think that we can press forward right now. So the biggest difference would be that a subcommittee would be a part of this existing group of individuals. So it could be a quorum of I believe four. This is a 7-person commission. Could be formed if there's a number of you that have specific interest in this topic. You could work outside of these normal once a month, third Wednesday in the month meetings, and hold your own meeting, do your own work in a formal setting. That's the biggest difference, is that it has a quorum, it has public comment periods, it has minutes, it has a set agenda, and it would just be a smaller version of this commission, essentially, that's able to work on issues like that, and it could meet as necessary. So if there's certain projects that the commission wants to tackle on an ongoing basis that maybe you don't know what they are yet, but you expect that over the course of months and years, projects will continue to arise, you can form a permanent subcommittee that will be set up to tackle those things specifically, and that way that it's usually used if the volume of work is either wants to be refined or is too large for the commission as a whole. That way they can do all the work and then just bring the final product to this commission, to CODA as a whole, who can do it, who can submit an up-down vote on those kinds of topics. I believe we can technically do one with the city council, but as far as I'm aware, they have not utilized that authority to create a council subcommittee for things like this, or really for anything that I'm aware of. Not to say that they couldn't do it. I believe that structurally they can, but they have not historically. So they've relied on the various commissions to provide them that kind of guidance. And I'll note as well that we have not established a new commission in quite some time. We have a lot of commissions in the city of Flagstaff. We have like 24 or so, maybe 25 or 30 even, which is quite a lot. It's not a bad thing. Flagstaff is a very active community with citizens like yourselves that want to be involved and are willing to do work to be involved. So that's never really been a problem. I will say that it will come with a cost, because it will require a staff liaison, a person like myself, to oversee it. And that's a potential area that council may not want to go forward with just at the moment. I can't speak for them, but just want to note that that's an area that it would require a cost to staff time in setting up and staffing a whole new commission, as well as pouring through the applications and all that kind of work. So I don't mean to sway you in any one way or the other, but so your options would be recommend a new commission, which would require council approval and their action. You yourselves can create a subcommittee. You don't need council approval for doing that. You can just make a motion to do that and create some guidelines for what you would like. I would recommend that if you want to go that route, not doing it at this meeting right now, but put it as an action item for a future agenda, so that I can make sure that all the I's and T's are dotted and crossed, and that everything is set up just right, so that a new formal body starts off on the right footing. And then a working group, as you've done those before, those are a little bit easier and don't require the same level of action. I hope that gives kind of a clear overview of each of those ones. if you have a specific question, I'm happy to answer what that is. But that's the three structures you can go with commission being the most formal and permanent to working group being the most informal and least permanent of those three options, and the subcommittee being in between, the latter two housed entirely within CODA, whereas the other one creates a new body.
Great. Thank you so much for that information. Any commissioner or any has any questions concerning this? But I do have a question first. It will be called a subcommittee and not a subcommission. Is that correct?
Oh, let me check on that. I have that actually right here in a document. It would make sense if it's a subcommittee because you are a commission, but
Okay.
let me make sure I've got it somewhere here. Okay, here we go. A commission may establish subcommittees and
Okay.
charge these
Good.
bodies with their powers, duties, and responsibilities. They're bound by the same rules and regulations as the commissions. So it would be known as a subcommittee, not a subcommission.
Okay, wonderful. And I have one more question. If the subcommittee needs any type of approvals, or if they want to push anything to the council, they would have to go through CODA first, or can they go straight to the council?
Let me see here as well. It looks like it's not. It doesn't say that it has to come back to the commission. I would recommend it as a general course of most actions, but reading through the rules I'm seeing here, I um, I don't see it completely. One thing I should note as well is that you can bring outside individuals into it to create a subcommittee. If there's people that want to be involved but are not currently on this commission, they can be on a subcommittee. It just cannot have a quorum of members from the commission. So you can have a blend. You can have one or two members of the commission, one or two members of the public, and they can form that body. And it looks to me like I don't see specifically that they can't go straight to council with anything, but I would recommend that it be used as a sub body of this group and everything is funneled back through CODA before going to the city council. Yeah.
Is it
Okay.
possible that we could make that kind of a, I don't want to say like a requirement, but kind of a, like I guess
Yeah.
a suggestion or a direction for that subcommittee to present to us for CODA to be able to approve before going to the city council? Is that something that we can suggest or have be part
Yes.
of that subcommittee? Okay.
Yes, absolutely. So when you create a subcommittee, and although we only have two subcommittees right now, there's only one commission and it has both of them. The Transportation Commission has a pedestrian subcommittee and a bike subcommittee. I'm not too familiar with how exactly those subcommittees operate, but we could create our own here. And let me
Okay.
so the commission may establish subcommittees and charge these bodies with their powers, duties, and responsibilities. So you can say exactly what when you're creating the subcommittee, what its tasks are, how it's supposed to work, and you can include in there that you want them to report everything back through the Commission on Diversity Awareness as opposed to going to an outside body. You can certainly add that, and then that would be in their mandate.
Wonderful. Good question, Commissioner Gabler, because I was thinking about that. Any other
Yeah, if it's
questions?
a subcommittee of us, I would like for us to be able to have kind of some input on it if
Of
it's
course.
part of our commission.
Yes, if our name is going to be out there, definitely.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So any other commissioners have any questions? And Chris, definitely, well, let me wait first. Anybody has any questions? Okay, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the floor for a motion that we form a subcommittee for the Women's Rights Group or Women's Commission. Definitely we'll have to come up with a name, Women's Right Group, or so definitely we want to I want to put a motion out there or open up the floor for a motion for us to form a subcommittee of CODA to be a women's rights group.
So on this one, you actually don't want to do it as a motion in this regard. You want to just give me direction.
Okay.
Generally from the group, it doesn't have to be a formal vote to
Oh.
bring this back as a possible action item. And I'll place this on the next agenda, and I'll do all the due diligence in the city clerk's office and loop in Councilman House as well to make sure she's aware of it. And then I can bring more of a formal presentation of exactly what that would look like, and we can look at drafting. Oh, I just thank you, Commissioner Toner. I saw your email just come through on the on this topic. I appreciate that. On exactly what that would look like, and then we can. So I can come to the meeting next month with a established mandate for this subcommission with all the forms already done, and you could just tweak things as you see fit, and then look to make that approval. And it would also give other individuals that may be interested a chance to speak on the matter as well. So I think that would be the way I'd recommend going forward with it. Is if you want to do it, just kind of give me direction and I'll bring it back as an action item for May.
Okay, wonderful. Let's go ahead and put it as an action item then.
Okay.
Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the next item, ideas for commissioners on areas of interest. So I know that we had an email that was sent out to us from Lisa, and since I wasn't in the last two meetings, Vice Chair Jarvis, did anybody discuss this in the meeting before? Or is this something
No.
we have to bring back?
This was new between the last meeting and this current meeting. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay, so for all the other commissioners who got the email with the different types of work groups, do you have any interest ideas? Did you get a chance to think of it? Which one of the work groups you want to be on? Or you still need some time to think and we'll leave it on the agenda? Anyone? So I know I want to be on the women's rights subcommittee. So
Would it be helpful to keep this as an item, and I could bring it back with
yes,
a more of a structure where I have each of the individual items. We can go
items on
through them
there.
one by
Yes.
one, and
Yes.
then say so Women's Rights Subcommission. I think I have some notes from my meeting with Sarah a few weeks
Lisa.
ago as well. Some of the other ones that were
okay.
out there. We can enumerate them and go one by one, so it's a little bit more structured. Would that be helpful?
Yeah, that will be helpful. Thanks. Because I'm
Awesome,
trying
I'm
to
happy to
remember
do
the
that.
list of them too, and I know some of them probably dissolved. Yep. Okay, so let's go to the next item, which is discussion on collaboration with the city on upcoming Heritage History Month event. I am not sure of that item, so can somebody else brief us on this? Because this item is new to me. Chris, do you know who put that item on here? Was this?
Let me take a look and see where that one came from.
Was this? Oh, hold on. Is this the proclamations? Because usually we'll have an item saying a proclamation. Is this the same or?
No, this one is not the same. Let me
Okay.
see where this one came from. I created a couple other draft agendas and I made some changes. Let me see if this was on there the whole time or if I added this somewhere through that'll help me find quickly where it came from.
Because this is time to talk about the proclamation for the Asian American Native Hawaiian Pacific Islander, and it will usually be on there. So I'm just wanting to know if this is the same thing.
Where did this one come from? Someone asked, I think I had a request to put this on from somebody. Let me see if I can find that communication real quick. This is the Heritage History Month.
Yep. The only History Month, Heritage Month that is coming up is in May, and that is when we start doing the drafting the proclamation. So I'm not sure if it's the same thing.
Here,
Any of the commissioners know about this item? Just in
this
passing?
one, this was on the
No?
draft agenda.
Okay.
Lisa Kita sent me.
Okay.
So I essentially what I did when I created our draft agenda for this one, she sent me what her draft agenda was going to be for March, and I went through and kept all the same items that were on there,
Okay.
and then just added and subtracted things as I was instructed to do so, either by members of the commission or other individuals that had presentations they were going to add to it.
Okay.
So this was one that she had on there.
Okay.
I don't know what the history behind it is. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's all right. We could find out. But I would like us to, at some point in time, to add proclamations, because we need to have the proclamation ready for next month for Asian American, Hawaiian, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander month.
Is
Yeah.
that May?
Yes.
Okay. And is it okay if that's on next month's agenda as opposed to being done right now?
What I'm part of that subcommittee, so I will go ahead and have the draft prepared, and we can talk. We can actually
Okay.
have it on the next meeting. Yes.
Excellent. So would you like proclamations to remain a continuing item on the agendas?
Yes, please.
Okay, I can do that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. So let's move on to collaboration with the library update. Commissioner Tona, you're on.
I believe that leadership is right now being passed to our Commissioner Sanchez.
Oh, okay.
Commissioner Sanchez here. Just wanted to share a quick update. So we've been working really hard on getting some grant applications sorted. So we've set up templates for project summaries, statement of needs, budgets, and now we're on the hunt for identifying other grants that we can apply for. We did submit a Mellon grant interest form, and so we're hoping to follow through on that. We'll be meeting next Tuesday to talk over some of our individual tasks around the different grants we were meant to identify. And then we are also working on finalizing the consent form with the city of Flagstaff. So more updates to come next month after we meet next week.
Thank you, Commissioner Sanchez. Quick question. Is one of the grants Creative Flagstaff grants?
Let me pull up our list real quick because we identified some in December, and then we've kind of been working through them and looking at the different factors and which ones we might not qualify for. So give me 1 second to pull that up real quick.
Because if not, that's a good grant to go after. If not, yeah.
It is
one.
Yeah. List. But I think Jean might have brought it. So I will be sure to add it for when we meet on Tuesday. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Good. Thank you so much. All right, so let's go ahead and move to discussion on allegations of cultural appropriation at the council meeting. And I think, Chris, you're going to lead this one because there are a lot of information I do not have on this.
Yes, and on this item, this is one that came to us from the community. Did everybody on this commission get a copy of this email that was sent to me? And I realize I'm realizing now that maybe that didn't get out to everybody in the commission. I think that you saw it, Carolyn and Sarah, and I think Jean as well.
It came from.
Did our other 4 members see this, or are you aware of what this is? Let me go ahead and forward
I don't
this.
It's Commissioner Gebler. I don't have a copy of it.
Let me go ahead and forward this to you quickly here. I apologize for not doing that. I was creating the agenda and I did I did put it in the agenda, but I don't think I sent it out. So my apologies on that one. It was the members of council of this commission that were aware of this Um, let's see. Were, did anybody witness or see a clip of what this alleged incident was? Okay, well, I can
No,
give
I
you
didn't.
my impression. What I got, I did talk to some other members of my team, but this is all, it's becoming a bit of a game of telephone, so I don't want to portray it as anything it's not here. But my understanding is that at a council meeting, right at the end of March, I believe is when it was. Um, there was a meeting where Councilwoman Sweet, it was her birthday, or her birthday was the week of the meeting, and um, uh, uh, I'm not sure where it came from, but somebody wanted to celebrate that fact, and they did so with Hawaiian themed clothing and the plastic leis you can buy. And Emily Davalos, a member of of the community, sent an email first to council. Yeah, it was sent on March 26th. Um, and then it did come to let's see, some individuals in this commission, I think, as well, because I think Gene, you saw it, right? And then sent it out. Yeah, it was sent. Looks like she sent it to you, Gene, and you sent it to Carolyn, Lisa, and me. Um, Here, yeah, let me go ahead and just forward this um, to our commission here. Oh boy, I need to open up that document that has our emails in it. And this is a moment that I wish Councilman House was here to discuss this. So that's about what I know about it, is that it involved leis and Hawaiian themed clothing, and um, uh, a member of the public took offense to that in some regard. I don't have more facts than that, unfortunately. So if that's not much to go off of, we could push that out to the next month as well if it's not a pressing issue. I'm not suggesting one way or the other whether it is or is not, but and try to get Councilwoman House here, who I imagine would have been present for it as well, and she may be able to speak to what happened.
Wonderful. I have a quick question. Was this recorded? Was it a part of their recorded meeting? Because that is what I was trying to
I
go
will
back
go.
and see.
I will go back and check on that as well, to
Okay.
see, and I'll go back and watch that council meeting to see if it's on camera anywhere, and if so, I can forward that to the commission.
Wonderful. Go ahead, Commissioner Tona.
It was on, I did watch it, and it was on, it was recorded. And Emily Davalos is a former commissioner on this commission, and she and another person who is of Hawaiian descent.
Ian Tong.
Yeah, and really what it was a sense that the use of, I guess, a celebratory kind of ritualistic clothing and leis was really for people who are not of Hawaiian descent, native Hawaiian descent. It was an appropriation, a cultural appropriation, and an inappropriate cultural appropriation. And that was the concern, that there was kind of a mascotting going on here. So that's what I know about it. I did go back and look and watch the video. So that's what I know of it. That's kind of the extent of my knowledge, is that it was kind of a behavior that was offensive
And
in
offensive
its,
behavior.
yeah, in its
Right.
in its mascotting,
Right.
not being cultural appropriation of some very sacred traditions.
Yes. And here comes that Heritage Month next month. So definitely, I would definitely like to look at that too, and we can probably make some recommendations, because yeah, we can't do that. And Commissioner Tona, is it the meeting of the March the 26th?
I would have to go back and look. I
Okay,
think
that's
that
fine.
probably Chris has that information because
Okay.
it was all in the email.
Okay, I'll check it
Yes,
out.
I will go through and I apologize again. I will make sure that that is forwarded to the commissioners that did not have it, so that the original
Yes,
email we got from former Commissioner Davalos was
yes,
it is in its original form, and you
right.
all can review that. I'll also send a link out to that meeting, so if you want to review the tape for it yourself, you're able to do that. And then we'll keep it as a discussion item. I do see that Councilman House has joined us. I'm not sure if that was in the last few minutes, but if she wants to speak to this, or maybe she could. Otherwise, we can push this to next month.
And Kara just joined.
Hi, Council. I'm seeing her. Is she here?
I see she's
Yes,
in the
I'm
meeting.
Okay.
And
Oh,
okay.
yes. Welcome.
Hello.
Hi. So you joined us just in time because we were talking about, I just shared my screen, H, which is the discussion on allegations of cultural appropriation at the council meeting.
Mhm.
Are you in a position to explain to us what took place, or do you want to comment on it, or just find out? Because what we did is, with a little information we have, we were asking our staff liaison if he could get some more information and also send the link for that meeting so we can see what took place. The floor is open if you want to give us a little more explanation what took place.
And Councilman
Sure.
House, if you're not sure what the context of this is, I can provide that as well. I'm not sure when exactly you joined.
I am assuming that this is related to the council meeting with Councilmember Sweet's birthday.
Yes,
Yes.
that'd be it. Yeah.
So, as far as I'm aware, there was one member of the community who took offense to there being leis that were worn by members of council, flowers. Everyone was wearing, or most of the women on council were wearing like floral or tropical style dresses, and that member of the community believed that it was inappropriate cultural appropriation. They reached out after the meeting to state that and said that as far as they had looked up Councilmember Sweet and did not see that she had Hawaiian heritage, and so it was completely inappropriate for council to have worn tropical wear or the leis as Hawaiian culture. What that community member does not know is that Councilmember Sweet's stepfather, I believe, does have Hawaiian heritage. And so, and it was part of her intention, or she had wanted to be in Hawaii to celebrate her birthday. And so we joined her in recognizing that and her birthday. I do know that there was another uh, incident that took place with a presentation where a member of staff was uh, had one of the floral crowns, I think, and did a must have done some sort of dance or something at the end of his presentation. I didn't see that. I was probably taking notes. But that same citizen then told him that he was um, in less colorful language. I think that that it was inappropriate and that he was a jerk for having done it. He said later that he either apologized or just thanked her for telling him her opinion, but then just let that go. So
Right.
I don't believe anyone from council reached back out to respond to that at all, beyond just acknowledging receipt of that initial message. It was not something where, at least I'll just speak for myself, where I felt the need to defend or um, uh,
share the other council members, background or heritage or anything like that with this person. I think it is a cautionary message in both the ways that nobody really thought about the fact that we were celebrating her birthday with a Hawaiian theme. But also, it's also a statement about those sorts of assumptions that can be made with that person, assuming that there was no connection and not knowing that person's full heritage. I don't think you could look up my background and know every part of
Right.
origin that I come from either. So yeah, it was just a moment and something that we have essentially moved on from because nothing further came up or was presented to council.
Thank you. Okay.
Are
So,
there any questions or was there specific action that CODA was requested to take on that?
no, actually, I'll have to look at the email again. It was the person who took offense or persons, they did send it to CODA. Maybe for us to look into it. And this is why we were asking Chris to get some more information, like the video or the recording, so that we'll look into it. Since the person wrote to us, we are going to have to put a response together because that is the right thing to do. So before getting into all of that, we definitely wanted to get a little more basis of what took place, and that is why Chris was going to send us the link for it.
Right.
Yep. Mhm. Yep.
I can pull up the original email that was sent real quickly. It's not particularly long if you want to review it. And if you would like to take action on it, it may be better to give a bit of direction on what action you want to take. And if we want to draft a letter or something like that, then we can draft it and have that ready for approval at the next meeting, as opposed to having to do it as a additional discussion item, which would come back for a vote in June, just delaying us an extra month. Would that be beneficial to the commission?
I would really like to see the recording. I want to see something,
Okay.
because everybody perception is different. I mean, what are the other commissioners? What do you think? Because I would like to see the recording.
Okay, I will
Yeah.
send the original email that Ms. Davalo sent to the group to everyone that did not already receive it, as well as a link to the recording of that council meeting, and then we can discuss it next month on what, if any, action the commission would like to take on it.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes. All right. So the agenda for future meetings, the date for a future meeting. All right. So our next meeting. We're looking at our next meeting being, is it the 15th or the 22nd? Because we have to look and see if we have any clashes.
It should be the 15th.
The 15th. Okay.
It's the third. It's the
Yes.
earliest day it could possibly be because
Okay.
the
Wonderful.
month begins with a Wednesday, but it should be the 15th of next month.
All right. 15th of May. All right. And that's the day for our future meetings. And I know that a couple people missed the part with the public comment. I just wanted to bring that back around just in case we do have a public comment. I see Kim is there. Councilwoman House, if you also have a public comment, because we started and there's a couple of people who didn't get the link. So we did agree that if anybody joined and had a public comment, we'll go ahead and bring it back around. So let me just read this. The public comment: the commission cannot act upon items presented during the public participation portion of the agenda. Individual commission members may ask questions of the public, but are prohibited by open meeting law for discussion or concerning the item among themselves until the item is officially placed on the agenda. Each public comment or presentation will be limited to 5 minutes. So I want to open up the floor really quick for any public comment for anybody who got our meeting link late. Anyone?
Hi, Carolyn.
Sure.
Kim.
Go ahead.
Hi. So public comment, this is more like community events. Like I always like to throw in. I'm Kim Robinson. I'm the project coordinator for the Southside Community Association's The Live Black Experience Project. And we do have a few community events coming up. We have, for Puente de Hoja, we have a Dene gardening class, so to speak, tomorrow from 10 a.m. to noon at the Puente de Hoja Library. That's 3401 North 4th Street. And I will also be at the mall this Friday from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. representing the Southside Community Association's The Live Black Experience Project for their Youth Day. So feel free to come out and see us there. Also, May 18th through May 19th is the Sunnyside Neighborhood Association's Fiesta de Mayo. That will be at Coconino Community College on 4th Street. And if anyone's interested in vending, you can definitely contact me for an application. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
And Chairwoman Kidd, it looks like I wanted to note, it looks like we had a comment from one of the other commissioners on the last item with future agenda items.
Okay.
Someone wasn't sure if you
I
wanted to
didn't
address
see
that.
that. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, Commissioner Gebler looks like she asked about when we'll be discussing our involvement for the Pride Parade this year.
Oh, for the Pride Parade, we could definitely go ahead and put that as an item. So proclamations and Pride Parade. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you so much. So I can't see the chat because whatever link I have, I can't see the chat. So thank you so much for bringing that to my attention.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead, Councilwoman House.
Thank you. Just one more public announcement. I thought I didn't have anything, but we are, I also serve as part of the Live Black Experience Project, and tonight we are doing a community dialogue on drowned Black towns and some of that history. So if anyone would like to join, that will start at 6 p.m. It will stream live on Facebook. And if you're not on Facebook, it also is posted very shortly after the airtime to YouTube. So you can catch up there as well.
Wonderful, thank you. And Councilwoman House, what is the name of the event?
It is the Live Black Experience Community Dialogue Series,
Okay,
and the
okay.
title of tonight's session is Drowned Black Towns.
Wonderful, Drowned Black Towns. Thank you so much for that information.
Yep.
Okay, with no other public comment, any other comments? I would like to go ahead and adjourn this meeting at 2:47 p.m. April 17th, 2024. And I want to thank everyone for hanging on there with us till the end. Welcome again, Chris, and thank you so much for being our staff liaison. And everybody have a nice and safe weekend and evening. Take care.